Hey everyone, Jason Garbus here from Numberline Security. We're going to talk briefly about Fortinet's acquisition of Next DLP. This was something that was announced over the last week or so, and I want to provide you with a brief analysis. So Fortinet, of course, is a security vendor positioned in the secure access service edge or SASE space, and they have a full suite of offerings in that area. They acquired a company called Next DLP that focuses on data loss prevention, obviously. Different technology, very different architecture, and we'll talk about how this can impact things. Prior to this, Fortinet did have some data loss prevention capabilities in their platform, and this was based on a pretty standard network-based infrastructure, network-based enforcement point. So Fortinet, of course, runs network infrastructure, and on the network in their enforcement point, it acts as a intermediary point. It does deep packet inspection. It does network traffic decryption, and it gives you the ability, gives customers the ability to do some level of data loss prevention on there. What the Next DLP platform takes a very different approach architecturally and from a technology perspective. Next DLP utilizes a powerful agent that runs on the user's device. Because it's on the user's device, it has the capability to analyze everything that's going on. It can look at user behavior analytics. It can actually see what they're typing, what's on their screen, and it provides pretty powerful capabilities to look at the data and the overall context of how the user is interacting with it. It also avoids the need to do any sort of network traffic decryption because it's looking at things on the device before they're actually sent out and encrypted. And it also has the ability to interact directly with the user, provide them with coaching tips and feedback. Now, this seems like a very nice addition to the Fortinet platform. Now, let's talk about the impact of that. Now, clearly, if you're a customer of either Fortinet or NextDLP, this is what you should expect. Number one, you should expect the Fortinet to reach out to you and from a sales perspective and attempt some sort of cross-sell. Oh, you're a Fortinet customer, great. We have these new capabilities and this new technology that you should look at. That's fine. Likewise, on the Next DLP side, Fortinet will probably reach out and say, hey, are you interested in our SASE platform? Here's why it's better than the competing solutions. Again, that's fine. This is what salespeople do. This is what the organizations do. And this is one of the reasons that Fortinet has acquired this technology. As a Next DLP customer, clearly what you need to expect is that there will be integration that happens. And I think that that's natural. What we should not accept is a slowdown in delivery capabilities. You shouldn't accept that the Next DLP team is going to get distracted or that fixes or enhancements or roadmap items get delayed. What really should happen in this type of situation is that Fortinet, being a much larger company than NextDLP, should bring additional resources and enable the NextDLP team to actually grow their capability. So there is going to be some overhead. There is going to be integration work that happens on an engineering side. You will eventually see, most likely, a combined agent where they take the NextDLP capabilities and merge them into the Forti clients. You will eventually see combined administration policies and administration consoles. That does take time, and there will be separate universes for quite a while. But you have to expect that those things will merge over time. But what should not be acceptable is that this is going to disrupt your user experience, your capabilities, and the roadmap, as well as the quality of service that you're getting from NextDLP because of this acquisition. To wrap up, I want to congratulate both the NextDLP teams and the Fortinet teams on this acquisition. There's always a lot of excitement going on in the industry. And to me, when you have a larger vendor like this acquiring a smaller vendor because of its capabilities, to me, that really emphasizes the fact that there is a need for best of breed capabilities. Clearly, Fortinet looked at this and said, hey, NextDLP is a great solution. It fills a gap that we don't have. And to me, I think that as an enterprise buyer, you should look at this landscape and say the very fact that these big platform companies are acquiring smaller companies should tell you that you shouldn't always just buy one solution from one vendor and assume that that platform is going to do everything. The fact that these vendors are acquiring best of breed functionality in smaller let's say niche or focused companies means that those focused companies actually add a lot of value and have differentiation and have valuable services. So, to me, what this does is it reinforces the fact that enterprises will need to have multiple vendors in their offering, and that the notion of, well, I'm just going to buy it from large vendor X because they have everything is a bit of a myth and is going to do yourselves a disservice if, in fact, you go down that route. I'm not saying you shouldn't do vendor consolidation and have fewer vendors. That's great. But you should acknowledge that there is a very valid and credible reason to have multiple vendors and to deliberately say, we're using big vendor platform X for this, but we've chosen specific vendors to fix specific problems here, here, and here. Even though those capabilities may exist in the larger platform, they're much better from this individual vendor. That's my guidance and advice. I hope this was helpful. Thank you and have a great day.